Currently, we're running pay from the bacon strip. It's not the best pay that we've ever run. All we can do is just keep hammering as much pay through the plant as we can, as efficiently as we can.
I mean, I want nothing more than to see my buddy succeed. Right now, I'm away. My new wife is planning our wedding reception for when I get home. So a nice fat gold bonus will go a long way to having a pretty kick-ass shindigs for our wedding.
It's a team effort to find the gold that we do, but I just really want to help Rick get to 2,000 ounces. And I really want this to be his best season yet.
After his redemption last season, Rick is going all in at Duncan Creek.
We've got the ground here now to run without too much effort, and you know, we can focus the majority of our effort on this real deep ground because it's going to be an expensive process. But I'm going to sink everything I own into getting down to that ground. And if I don't get anything back out of it, if I wouldn't say that my margins are tight, I would say that that's the end of me. I might as well go home and pack everything up. I won't even be able to afford my house, and I'll never come up to Yukon again.
Rick needs to bank at least 700 ounces of gold before he can take a risk on deeper, richer ground at Duncan Creek.
Wait a minute.
A hole has opened up between the plant and the pre-wash, letting gold-rich material flood out.
It's not a big piece of steel, but it's a pretty important one. It's a worn out, fell off, went out that side of the plant. It's probably in the tailings pile somewhere. We'll be shutting down until we fix that. All the dirt's just coming out of the pre-wash, and it's just falling between the pre-wash and the plant.
Rick believes a steel plate has worked loose.
I think it actually comes off a... Well, there's no obvious, you know what I mean? There's no obvious, like, breaks here. There's no... I mean, I know there's got to be a piece, you know, that goes over. What the is... Why can't I put together what this is supposed to look like? This whole thing shifted back and down.
Ah, so it's got to be all...
There's no piece missing, just the whole pre-wash moved backwards.
So shouldn't there be pins?
Yeah.
That's why we couldn't find anything up there, like any fresh breaks or anything.
Yeah, we're not missing a piece out of the pre-wash, as the whole pre-wash moved back, because the pins fell out and the whole thing fell backwards.
You'd think that they'd be right here.
It found its way back today, but those pins could have been gone for a week.
Rick can't run the plant until he's replaced the missing 9-inch steel pins.
Cruzy, can you come down to the plant, please?
With no mechanic, it's down to hometown buddy Chris Cruzy to fix the plant.
What's going on up there, guy?
Yeah, the whole pre-wash fell back.
You just need to make some pins, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's no pins in sight. They could have been gone for weeks.
Nothing's actually broken. We just have missing pieces, so we need to find some pins to put back in there and get it put back into place. So, but it is downtime, and we don't need that.
I can't afford anything right now. With a breakdown like this, I mean, probably only be a few hours, but these things add up, man. And every single one of them is just making it harder and harder to hit 2,000 ounces.
I just got a piece of round stock for a new pin. We found another one that we can use that's from something else. Luckily, I have the welding experience because nobody else seems to be very well versed in welding. Don't call it a lifting eye for no reason.
Cruzy will weld the eye to the pre-wash, so Rick can reposition it with the excavator and move it back within touching distance of the shaker deck.
Cruzy, I count on him. He takes care of the machine, he takes care of the plant. He's kind of turned into a bit of a utility guy for me, and that's really nice. I couldn't be happier with how that's working out. Hey, guide me and make sure I'm lifting her straight. with this machine, lift it up, and this is the only wash plant we've got running right now. It needs to be running again by the end of the day, so I can't this up. That'll make it a big repair, so got to be very careful here.
Start going up and I'll see what happens. Okay. Come towards me. Swing over that way a little bit. All right, now keep coming towards me. All right, now come down. Hold it right there.
And just like that. Pins are in. Well, as far as breakdowns go, that wasn't too bad. Nice work. Thanks, pal. You know, we can never afford to have the plant down. Luckily, this time was a pretty easy fix. We got it going quick, but there's not a whole lot of time left on that plant before some serious rebuilding. Yeah, rough week, huh? Well, I'm glad. I still have a good attitude about it, too, but it's that sucked, man. Rocky's been so, like, rock solid for us for the last couple years, and we've abused it, and it's showing. I think it was down more than it ran this week. We can't afford too many weeks like this.
Not if we want to hit 2,000, eh?
Here's the thing. It's going to get to the point where we're going to have to address it and do a major overhaul.
We all know what it needs, but we all know that we can't afford to really shut it down right now. So what do you do, right? All I have to say is a bummer of a week, but there is some gold. Should we weigh it up?
Yes, sir.
I didn't even try to hide it from you guys this week.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. We got 10.
To reach his 2,000-ounce target, every week, Rick needs 105 ounces.
Get it 40. Get out of there. 40.64.
Worth $73,000.
That's half of what we did last week. The plant ran half the amount of time, right? So
The math does that up.
even if it was what it was last week, we're still in the same boat.
Yeah.
It's not getting us to 2,000 ounces. So
You got an eye on some other ground?
I know there's ground here, but I'm taking my time, but we're gonna have to pull the trigger on something soon.
Perfect.
Thanks again, guys. Okay, you ready?
Out of here.
Well, it was a tough week, but you know, the team pulled through. We're not getting the gold numbers that we need, but you know, without these guys, it could have been a hell of a lot worse. So we are gonna have to figure out something else, though, because at this rate, we are not gonna get our 2,000 ounces.